Hello students, welcome back to another social studies class. Today we will be looking at the 2016 Social Studies Paper 2 questions. Before we begin, let me ask you to kindly subscribe, share and like this video. If you have any comments or suggestions, you can just leave them in the comment section and I will respond to them. Let us begin. Define the term bigamy. So bigamy is the act of going through a marriage ceremony while already being married to another person, right? And in some countries, bigamy is a criminal offense. So this was just 2 marks. State 2 factors that may cause a newly married couples to delay parenthood. 2 factors that may cause newly married couples to delay parenthood are: factor 1, they may not be financially ready to add another member to their family, right? So financially, they are not prepared for a child as yet. Factor 2, they may not be emotionally ready, right? So mentally, spiritually, they are not prepared to show a child that love, that affection, that security that a child will need in order to develop healthy. And that was just 2 marks. The next question: state 2 reasons why emotional readiness is necessary for good parenting. And again, when we speak about emotional readiness, we are referring to how prepared are you as a parent to show love, affection to a child. So reason 1, children needs proper love, an adequate amount. They need attention, they need affection, and if they are to, or if we expect them to develop healthy and have a stable personality, love, affection and security will be needed, right? So as a parent, you have to be emotionally ready in order to offer these to a child. Reason 2, having a child takes a lot of emotional, mental strength. Yes, parents. And as parents, you have to be emotionally prepared for the challenges ahead. Example, you have some baby that would stay up all night, some babies that would be constantly crying, right? And you have to be emotionally prepared as a parent, right, to deal with all of this. If you're not prepared emotionally, this can lead you into depression, right? So those are some of the reasons why you have to be emotionally ready before becoming a parent. Just move on to the next question. Suggest giving full details. 3 strategies which parents may use to encourage their children to communicate with them. And this is a 2-part question. Explain fully why each strategy you have suggested is likely to be successful, right? So in other words, what are some of the things that parents can do to communicate effectively with their children? Strategy 1, listening to your children. Listening to your children. Justification for this: why do I think that listening to your children will promote effective communication with them? Sometimes, right, children are facing a lot of emotional challenges, especially as teenagers. If you have teenage daughter or teenage son, right, and they just want somebody to talk to. Sometimes the best person they can talk to is their parents, right? So when they are talking to you, it is expected that you'll give them your full undivided attention. Your body language will show them that yes, I am here for you, I am listening to you, right? So when all of this comes into play, it will develop or encourage your children to communicate with you. So that was the justification. Strategy 2, spending more time with their children can encourage their children to communicate with them more effectively. Justification for this: by spending time with their children, this will improve communication. Parents and children can participate, right? So some of the ways they can spend time together, they can participate in activities. Example, doing housework chores. They can have family time. Example, going out to the beach or just sitting at home watching movies together, right? So that bond will be developed when parents spend time with their children. They will feel comfortable coming to you because you have developed a relationship with them where they can come to you to talk to you, to communicate with you about whatever life challenges they are having. At strategy 3, what about praising and encouraging their children? Justification for this, why I think this will work. This will work, right? Because if children feel as if they are appreciated by their parents, they feel the love, they feel the affection, right? Their self-esteem, their confidence will be boosted because they have a parent who is not afraid to praise them when they have done something good. And even when they have done something bad, you don't bash them, but you encourage them, right? And praises can come through many different forms, right? So this will help the child to feel like they can communicate, they can come to their parents about anything that is happening in their lives. Question 2 says, define the term culture. Well, this is quite easy. Culture is the way of life of a people, and everything that we do makes up what we call culture. The other question is, list 2 factors which contribute to the cultural variety seen in Caribbean music. All right, factor 1, and this is just 2 marks. Ethnicity. 2 factors that contributes to the variety seen in the Caribbean music are: factor 1, ethnicity. So the Caribbean has a rich cultural diversity, right, which consists of a mixture of different indigenous people. So that contributes to the cultural variety that we're seeing in our music, because each indigenous people would have carried their own music, their own way of culture to the Caribbean. So that gives us diversity in our culture. Factor 2, what about social cultural background? In that Caribbean people love variety of music. Some persons love to listen to dancehall, some soca, some rock R&B, right? Some gospel. So because of the social cultural background of each one of us, right, and the different status and our different type of genres of music that we enjoy, right, this contributes to a variety of cultural variety seen in the Caribbean music. The next question states, outline 2 reasons why Caribbean musicians may wish to promote their particular style of music. And this is just 4 marks. 2 reasons Caribbean musicians may wish to promote their particular style of music are: reason 1, music is a worldwide language, right? And the Caribbean music is diverse. Therefore, promoting a particular style of music will add value to the already diversified music culture that we have. And that is just 2 marks. Reason 2, for employment reasons, right? Music is sometimes the only income source for musicians, right? Therefore, promoting their music will help them to make money to meet their needs and also promote their, I'll call it their job, right, as an artist. And that was just 4 marks. Next question suggests, giving full details, 3 strategies Ministry of Culture may use to encourage artists to create music featuring the Caribbean rhythm. 6 marks. And this is a 2-part question. Explain fully why each strategies you have suggested is likely to be successful. All right. So we start in a complete sentence. 3 strategies the Ministry of Culture may use to encourage artists to create music featuring the Caribbean rhythm are: strategy 1, the Ministry of Culture can promote music competitions, right? Justification why I think this will work: because if the ministry invests or put on some music competition, this will give artists from not only Jamaica, but the Caribbean a chance to create authentic music, right? That will showcase their Caribbean rhythm. And at the end of the competition, right, each artist or the top 3 persons could get a prize. What they could also do too is to maybe carry the competition on the media, on the radio, the television, the social media, that persons overseas, persons within the Caribbean, locals can watch it, thus promoting the artists and also promoting the Caribbean rhythm. Strategy 2, the Ministry of Culture could also put on a music festival, right? Justification why I think this will work: the music festival, right? Maybe it can be a festival that is held annually, right? Where different artists and different genres of music can be performed, right? This strategy, I believe, will be effective because artists will get a chance to promote their craft, and the Caribbean rhythm will also be promoted not only in the Caribbean but worldwide, right? And strategy 3, what about education? The ministry, and justification for this, the Ministry of Culture can build a partnership, right, with schools or universities, right, to educate potential artists, right, to complete a course in Caribbean rhythm, right? They could also introduce Caribbean rhythm as a course in high school or even the primary schools, right? So from an early age coming up, students will be exposed, they will be introduced to the Caribbean rhythm. So those of them who want to become an artist, they would have had some exposure from primary school or high school about our Caribbean rhythm. All right, question 3. Josh, I have not voted for a parliamentary representative for my area for the last 3 elections. Stance, I don't bother to vote either. The floating voters always decide the outcome of elections. Question A. What does the term floating voter in the dialogue mean? So in other words, who is a floating voter? A floating voter is a person who has not decided which party they will vote for in an election, right? So they are not really a part of any party. And that was just 2 marks, so we don't need to explain anything long. The other question says, state the term used to describe the voter behavior shown by the 2 speakers in the dialogue above. The term used to describe the voter behavior shown by the 2 speakers in the dialogue above is called voter apathy. And you may be wondering, Miss, what is voter apathy? Voter apathy is the lack of interest in the election or elected representative. So you don't have no interest in any election, and you do not have no interest in no political representative. So we call that voter apathy. And that was just 1 mark. The other question, give 2 reasons why some registered voters may behave in a way similar to the speakers engaged in the dialogue. Reason 1, mistrust of the political system, right? So maybe the voters are disappointed in their elected representative. They feel as if they are not for the people. They are more for power and not for the people. Reason 2, corruption. Some persons believe that the political system is full of corruption, and so they believe that the election will not be a fair one, right? So they don't take part in the election at all. And even though the question asks for 1 problem, even though the question asks for 2 problems, I can give you a bonus answer. Lack of education is another reason why some registered voters may not participate in the election process, right? Because they do not realize that, right, that voting an election is your right. They have a right to, and in order for them to decide on the persons or the party that they are going to put their trust in to make decisions on behalf of them for the next 5 years, they have to vote. No vote, no talk. If you don't vote, you don't have any talk in how the country is running. So lack of education can cause that also. For 1 mark, state 1 problem that may arise when newly registered voters are not educated about the process of voting in an election. So when newly registered voters are not educated about the process of voting, sometimes it ends up that even though they went to the polling station to vote, the ballot that they voted on end up spoiled or rejected because they were not educated about the process of voting, what they should do, how they should angle the ballot paper, etc. Right? So their vote end up being thrown out because of a rejected ballot or a spoiled ballot. So educating yourself is very important when it comes on to elections. Question C, suggest, given full details, 3 strategies which the youth arm of a political party may use to encourage young persons to vote. 6 marks. Explain fully why each strategy suggested is to be successful, and that's another 6 marks. So we are going to suggest our strategy and justify why we think this strategy will work. Strategy 1, education, right? So 3 strategies the youth arm of the party may use to encourage young people to vote are: strategy 1, education. Justification, why I think this will work: they could form a committee of young people, right, who will be assigned or given the task to educate other young people about the voting process. Hence, when they go out on election day to participate in the voting process, they will already have been educated, and this will encourage them, this will push them, this will give them a drive to want to go out and vote. Because when they see the other young people who are the same age as them or their peers educating them about the voting process, they will want to also go out and vote on election day. Strategy 2, another strategy that young people could use to encourage other young people to vote: having mock elections. Why do I think this will work? Justification: young people who are leaders, right, at different institutions and organizations, whether at the youth club level, whether at church, at school, right, they can organize mock elections whenever they're going to choose a committee for their organization, so that young people can get a feel of what the election process is. They can get a feel and be encouraged that in order to get your beliefs and your views and your development, you have to participate in an election. You have to be a part of the process in choosing the right person, the right party who will represent you and who will bring about prosperity to you, right? So from an early age, from the youth club level, from the school, the church, they will know the importance of elections and the importance of going out to vote to choose which party or whoever person you want to represent you for the next 5 years. Strategy 3, young leaders could lobby with election commissions to allow other young people to assist in the election process on election day or even in the training, right? Justification: this will work because students attending school could get a chance from an early age to observe an election or even to observe the training for an election, right? So they will have the feel by the time they reach 18 years old and can participate in the voting process. They will have a feel of what the process entails, right? And they will be encouraged to go to vote because they have been a part of the process from going to school. They are not going there to work. They're just going to have a group of young people observing what is happening on election day, or if not on election day, they can let them come into the election training and observe the procedures of what an election entails. Okay, guys, so we're going to have a part 2 to the 2016 Social Studies past paper questions, which will look at section B, development and uses of resources, in part 2 of this lesson. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share the video so that other students can get a chance to participate in our classes. All right. If you have any comments, please leave it in the comment section and I will reply.